Well, good morning. Thanks for all you coming on this nice cold morning to this Lake and Wildlife meeting. It's going to be a great meeting today. A lot of good stuff, a lot of nice people here, great presenters. Before we get underway, I just want to mention a couple items. One is that we keep our prayers for Billy Breast and for Beth Puglisi after he passed with a heart attack this week, and she had a minor stroke herself after, and I understand she's still in the hospital. So let's keep them in our prayers. Also, I need to mention Ed Way. And as you all know, Mary Lou and Ed have been a part of this group and part of the board of directors for many years. And he passed last week also, actually the week before 29th. So I just think we need to keep them in our prayers and remember them and their families. Amen. That's enough. Okay. Moving right along, and we'll mention the speakers later. This year I put up a banner of renewing the path forward because we always want to renew what we're doing and also think of what we can do better or different. And this will be a year of a little bit of change here and there, and we'll talk about that as we go along, but nothing major. Make sure go back to the mission. And what is the mission? It's a privilege to leave here, be responsibility for us to take care of the natural world around us. Therefore, we work to preserve the beauty and wildlife here and encourage BTCI, our community, and all the residents to be good stewards of our natural resources. What do? Monitor, educate, and volunteer. Those are the three most important things that we do and focus on through the year. Today, we'll welcome any new partners. We'll have our liaison report from Glenn, quick committee reports, our treasurer report, and then the Bluebird Trail with Dara, Ginny, Sally, and Jerry, who's hiding.
Hiding in plain sight.
Yeah. We got the doors closed. Quick report from our board of directors. Glenn, if you'd like to come on down, update us.
Y'all thought you were rid of me, weren't you? Well, I'm back.
Yeah, good.
All right, the board last month approved a 3-year lease that will reopen the stables. There's a couple who have run a stable operation in Suwanee for a number of years. They decided to move because the price of land there was getting up $200,000 and $300,000 an acre. They thought it was a good time to get out. Plus, the place was being overrun with people. So they wanted to live in a more rural area. So they have bought some property in Marble Hill near the Ace Hardware. It's got basically it's a farm. It's got a house, a barn, and some pasture land. And they have agreed to run our stables. We have a 3-year lease. It's only $1 a year, but that's pure profit. And they've guaranteed that they'll leave room in the stables, our stables, for at least 5 horses of Bentry residents, if we have that many, perhaps more if there are more people. And so they hope to be operating by May 1st. They're going to be running trail rides, camps, and other activities. All these are things that they've done in their previous operation. We're very impressed with them. They seem like very good people and very earnest. Perhaps most encouraging, they know how to do this as a business. And they ran a very successful business where they were. So we think it's kismet, really. And the really fortunate thing is if they hadn't come along, the board probably would have voted to close down the stables permanently and submitted that to the people. Because the board had been looking for someone to operate the stables for a year. Did a nationwide search and got basically nothing. So these folks just happened to come along. They heard about the stables. They wanted to do it. So we think it's really going to be a benefit to Bentry. Yes.
will they have access to the saddle club area?
You mean the arena? They're going to be working with the arena people. Yes, they seem very cooperative in terms of how they want things. They like working with volunteers. They have volunteers where they are now, so they're very much open to that sort of thing. So, and now, dredging, if anyone's interested in it. We approved a $1 million contract to dredge the lake this year. Plus, there's going to be another $200,000 in associated costs, mainly getting the gunk out of here. We're doing 3 areas. The beach area, which includes 50 feet out from the beach itself and Goose Island, the boat dock area, and Mulligan Cove. We hope it will start in about April. The company that's coming in to do it has a different process. Normally in the past, they've sucked the muck out of there, they put it in big bags and put it on the shore and let it drain for weeks or months, and then they haul it away. This outfit has a dewatering process. They have a big trailer. This gunk is pumped into the trailer, it's dried out, and then it's hauled away. Now there's good news and bad news about that. We get rid of the gunk real fast. But it's also going to take about 1,500 dump truck loads to get it out. All that's going to be going out Tamarack Drive towards the back gate. You may have noticed there's some work going on near the horse arena, behind the horse arena. That's the area they've been cleared. That's where most of it's going to be dumped. We hope all of it will be dumped there. That'll keep the cost down a lot if we don't have to haul it out somewhere. So there's going to be disruption. There's going to be trucks going in and out. The trucks may end up coming in from the front gate to get there, but when they have the loads, they'll be going out the back gate. Yeah, really. And also, the trailer itself runs on diesel fuel. So that thing is going to be running every day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. So there's going to be noisy. When they get to the boat dock area, first the dock's going to have to come out for them to clear that area. If Lake and Wildlife, I know has talked from time to time about improving the dock, replacing the planks. That'd be a great time to do it if you want to. The muck from there will be piped over to the trailer, which will be actually where the bocce ball court is now. The bocce ball court will have to be taken out. The stuff will come out of the trailer there, go into the dump trucks, and head up the road. So there's going to be a lot of noise. Again, we're planning to do this Monday through Friday, so weekends hopefully will be clear. We have no real schedule. We're hoping that the beach area will be done by the time the weather gets warm enough to use the beach. Then they'll move to the boat dock area, and the last part will be the Mulligan Cove, which may not be finished until possibly this time next year. So it's going to be a year of inconvenience and noise and disruption. And I'm not sure what this will all do to the fishing. Maybe Huff can talk to that in terms of the water getting roiled up. But I'm sure it's not going to be good. So that is it in a nutshell. Any questions?
Will they be going during Youth Fest that week, because we have a lot of visitors and kids coming in?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I would imagine if it's at all possible, we won't do it then. I know for the fireworks display, the truck will still be there. But hopefully, I think the plan right now is to stop the operation at least for that period.
Do you know why they decided to go this route instead of buying the equipment themselves?
We're still thinking about buying the equipment, actually. I know this is something that you, pardon? No, that, it would be entirely too expensive for us to buy the equipment. There is a smaller piece of equipment, Huff, do you remember the name of it? No, the We Do, which is basically something we would buy and do periodic mucking. Right. Actually, we're still considering that. We also this past month approved a 5-year capital improvements plan, which includes purchasing one of those. And I think they're a couple $100,000. But we have right now in our capital improvements plan money to buy it next year and then pay it off through a period of several years. That doesn't mean that we're going to do it. That just means it's something we want to do, and we'll decide next fall if we have the money to do it. So hopefully once we get this bigger project done, we can do smaller projects each year. Any more questions?
Alicia.
Yes.
A lot of times silt can be very fertile, so could some of that be reutilized and whether we could dump it all somewhere it can be utilized in fertilization projects around the trees, the golf course, the garden area, at the quarry?
They have looked at this, and what they've decided is that it is not good for growing anything. Just the nature of it. I think there's a lot of sand involved. But yeah, this was considered. Now it's possible if there are areas in the golf course where they just want to flatten out an area, they might try it there, but it's doubtful. They're still planning to take most of it out to behind the horse arena. Anything else? All right.
Thanks, Glenn.
Glenn, thank you very much. Good to have you back, Glenn. Thank you very much. It's going to be an interesting year, but it'll be good. Okay, quick committee updates that we're going to have today. Fundraising, first of all, Tamarack Treasures. I want to go there for a second and just thank everybody that helped in Tamarack Treasures. And this year we're going to probably move to have just one Tamarack Treasures. And that we're looking for volunteers, of course, and we have found a leader who will handle it. I'll have more on that the next month after her operation is done and she's recovered and still able, but we're looking very good there. I just want to mention that we plan to move forward with one. Now, volunteers, yes, we sure do need those. Hanging baskets. Andy's going to have a word on hanging baskets.
Okay, hanging baskets. My wife is in charge of this. I'm here to speak for her. She's at home sleeping. This is our annual hanging basket sale, and we've got a whole array of different baskets. It's coming from a nursery in Atworth, and they actually contract with Walt Disney World. So they're shipping hundreds of plants in Orlando for Disney. So it's good root stock. I think most of you have had hanging baskets before. Do you have any comments? How well they were done? How well they lasted? Yes.
I have fuchsia, and it was beautiful. I brought it in my house. It's growing beautiful in my house, so it goes back outside.
So you're on the second year of the
Same one.
Yeah, I had hanging baskets for this, and it lasted 2.5 years.
And I'll get some more.
Good. Okay, so these are at the Tamarack Pro Shop area. These are also at the Mail Center, and they're at the Admin Center. You fill out the order form, and you take it up to admin and give it to Claire there at the front desk. It's all good. The deadline is March 8th. Deadline for ordering is March 8th. When is it? March 8th. Good. It's delivered in April.
They're very reasonably priced.
Well, good. So we're going to make a few bucks off of this.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Marietta, if you're awake. Appreciate you taking that on this year. We also obviously have the pictures of all the hanging baskets options. And there are more options this year than there were last year. So there's some really nice plants in there. And you're right, the price is really good. As long as you're up here, Andy, let's go to KBTB, huh?
I'm in charge of KBTB, that's Keep Bentry Beautiful, and we had this year a bunch of youth from the youth camp, what's it called?
Young Life.
Young Life Youth Camp. Here they are.
Senior camp.
It's nice to have volunteers from the community, so they come down the mountain and help us. Not pictured here is Brian. Brian, you're down at the tavern taking the garland off.
Yeah.
And then we had Vinny and Peggy. They were down at the back gate helping out back there. So anyway, we had a great turnout to tear down the decorations and pack them all up in the basement. They're all organized. They're labeled. And then we will have our spring planting about the beginning of May. So that's when we plant vinca, we plant some lantana, we do the tavern boxes, we do the front entrance, we do the back gate, and we do some other little things. I'm going to have to buy some shrubs for the mail center. The ones at the mail center are looking pretty bad, so we'll work on that. Okay?
Andy,
Yes.
I know the purpose of what they did around the front gate.
Yeah.
Are there going to be any flowers?
I don't think so. We can put some flowers around the Japanese maple, which I did one year. But yeah, it's all fire-wise. It's got to have, their front gate. That's what we're talking about. They took all the old shrubbery around, which was overgrown. It's probably planted in the 90s, so they were huge. But fire-wise means you have to have a 5-foot area around the building of rocks or gravel. So that's what they're doing. Check out the community library, the cottage and the library, because we've done the front and side of that in a fire-wise motif so that you can see what it's supposed to look like. Dara and company have planted natural habitat, native plants. Where's Dara? I think I got
Yeah, there's American beautyberries are up there, and they're a great native shrub that are firewires. They're very airy. They're not very dense. They don't have a lot of sap. And they're great. They make those. The deer don't completely demolish them. You may have noticed them along Tamarack as you're headed up toward the tavern. Purple berries so that's what we put up by the cottage, and also some small goldenrods and things.
So
away from the building.
Yep, and it should do really well. So look for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. Forgot to lock it down. That's why Glenn was sliding at the podium up here. Anyway, moving on. Wildlife Wednesdays communicates all the time. You get that, you see that. I think it's a great tool. Miguel does a great job with that. I'm going to go back for just a second because we've got hanging baskets this year and Whispering Springs also, which Denise is ahead charge of, and we're going to have Whispering Springs. We may have it twice this year to raise revenue. KB,
Talk about the community garden.
sure.
Okay. If you haven't been down to the quarry, you need to go there. And when you go in the gate, turn right and sort of head up that way. We will have 15 community gardens plots there. Oh boy, 8 by 5, I think it is, raised beds. And Kim Stewart is the person in charge of that. And we have, Fred McLam is not here, but he's the one that's been constructing those. And he's going to construct 8 more, and then we'll be in the next month. He's waiting for some warm weather, and then we'll do that. So be looking at that. They're community gardens. It's $60 a year to rent them. $60 a year, and you furnish the soil and plant and have fun, and that money goes to the Keep Bentry Beautiful. Cool.
Thanks, Andy. And you'll see that in the Wildlife Wednesdays. It was there this week also. Wildlife, there's just a short report. Miguel is in Florida and couldn't make it to the meeting today, but he wanted me to let you know that the deer herd, as you know, has been culled to some extent, and that there was 30 plus taken away. However, it was below estimates of what it should be, and that Michael Corey has responded by saying that there will be renewed efforts to bring it back to where it needs to be this fall when they are allowed to do this again. So I just wanted to let you know that they're working on that. They understand the population has gotten too high, and they're working to keep that down. There are some geese around, and I live down by the lake, and I hear them every morning and every night, so I know they're still there, which is fine. And working on the streams with Mason, we know that they're also spending some time up at the quarry. They like to overnight in a nice warm place up there. So anyway, we're going to get more beacons and put them around the beach and the landing areas so that we can get them out of there. There was a report of a couple wild hogs up on Denny Ridge, way up towards the top. And Michael Corey, as security, is aware of that. And they've changed the methods in which they trap those now and using a different manner and a different supplier. So there should be some more positive things that happen in getting those wild hogs out of here. Send them back over the mountain somewhere. I won't say any more than that. That's where they came from, right?
Bacon.
Let's not make a big to-do about this. Anyhow, wild ducks and wood ducks, you know, there's been a lot of work. Eldon works with the ducks and the houses and the cleaning, and there's renewed time spent there, and they'll be working on those in the future. So that's a quick one as far as wildlife goes. And any questions? Okay. Lake and streams. Huff, do you have a couple words?
Yeah, just only a couple.
I'll give you 32. 32? No.
This time of year, the fish are somewhat dormant. The feeders are cut off, but we run the feeders for 1 or 2 seconds every day to keep the mechanisms going. Around the 1st of April, we'll start feeding the feeders again. The ones on the docks have been great places for kids to come and catch a fish, don't have a boat and so forth. It's been very, very successful. I don't know the disruption of the dredging, how it's going to affect the fish. I do know it's unfortunately it's bad timing. There's something we can do about it, but that's sort of the pre-spawn and spawn period for the fish. However, we're only in 3 areas of the lake, and most of the lake is not going to be affected. Yep. So we'll see how that goes. I did go out and catch 7 fish the other day. You can still catch fish during the winter. The techniques are different. Anyone wants to talk about techniques, I'll talk to you about it later, what worked for me. But the lake is healthy, the fish are healthy, and glad to be here.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate all your work on that lake and that dock and those fish. I'm going to bounce up just a little bit here just to talk about that. Back in January, on the 9th and 10th, we had a lot of rain, as you know, 4.5 inches. And a lot of times I go down and I see it and I look at it, or Mason and I will take pictures and stuff, but we don't bring it here. And I want to start to bring this here so you get an idea, because you're not there, you're not in it, you don't see. But those 4.5, as it says up there, this is Long Swamp coming down Beaver Run down to the lake. And normally it's 6 inches, maybe deep, and maybe 2 feet wide. Long Swamp got up to 36 inches high and over 8 feet wide. So it stays that way for about 24 hours and then it recedes. But that's what comes down through and brings all the silt and stuff. And on the right is Mulligan, our infamous Fun Mulligan. Normally, again, 5-6 inches deep, maybe 2-3 inches, 2-3 feet wide. It got 37 inches high and about 8 feet wide. And it just keeps on coming. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, kind of show you what's going on down there in the forest. In the dredging, I want to mention that Glenn did a great job presenting it. But for detail and information, Jim Pryor put an article in the Echo in January, which is very good. If you want to refer to that, or if you have questions, or if somebody asks you questions and you don't know, he answered a lot of that information. And you've heard a lot about it over the years as we've worked on this dredging program for 2 or 3 years. And each month we'll give an update here with Glenn on what's going on. Jim Pryor's going to head the communication from the public as far as questions go and answers, and you'll see articles from him updating us on the status, what's going on, where they go next. and all that kind of stuff, including, what about Youth Fest when we need that area.
Yeah. He, Jim Pryor spoke at the, at the year presentation, and he went into the dredging thing quite a bit. So it's on our YouTube channel for December. If you want to watch, he explains kind of what the journey of what we've been through as far as, this way or that way, or doing it ourselves or farming it out. And it's a good presentation if you want to go check it out.
Great idea, thanks, John. Okay, we're gonna go back. I love to do this, it just keeps us awake in the morning. Lake and streams we've covered at the dredging with habitat, the wild ones.
Yeah, so I'll just mention, you see this big banner up here? Wild Ones is a national organization, and they have a lot of connections with big groups like Homegrown National Park and Native Plant Societies, and they're really leading edge. And so they also have a lot of content, a lot of good webinars, a lot of good resources, things that you can take advantage of, in the comfort of your own living room on your own schedule. So I've started a seedling chapter called the First Mountain Chapter of Wild Ones to gauge the interest. It's not bent tree specific. It will be for Ellijay, Jasper, the general area, because people can connect outside of bent tree. My hope is it's an organization for people who are interested in invasive plant removal and supporting native plants, to just find other like-minded individuals, and something that will exist beyond any particular program of bent tree, beyond any particular person in habitat conservation, but beyond any particular board of directors or a leadership within Lake and Wildlife. So if you're interested in that, there's some literature up here. And if you join Wild Ones, I think it's $40 a year, and you have access to a lot of great material, which we leverage a lot in our presentations here. But select First Mountain Chapter as your local chapter, and then you'll be part of that more local group. Okay, that's it. Thanks.
Thanks, Marilyn. Okay. Quick communications update. You get that on Wednesday and Friday, and again, Miguel does a great job. The Echo's got some great articles that just came out yesterday. I haven't even got mine yet, so there's some good stuff in there too. And projects and maintenance, right now we're working on trail signs, and almost done with that, which is what Jim White is handling, the power lines for sure. And then just a quick update that I know Andy and Miguel are working on the beach recreational area as a combined committee out of this group that has been put together to look at what needs to be done, how often, what's it gonna cost, and working directly with Jim Pryor, which comes out of the beach recreational survey study and project and plan that Rick Patterson put together last year. So that's where that's going. It's back up and at 'em and going. Special events, we'll all obviously have an employee lunch this year and the holiday party. Trails, any quick update, Mason?
Not really. Stephanie and I hiked the Orange Trail yesterday, and it's passable. The streams are flowing. The creek crossings are a little tricky, but they're not real high, so they are pretty. The only caution I would make right now is the White Trail is fairly slippery because of it's wet, and I would say by probably middle of next week, or even after the Super Bowl Monday, it ought to be dried out fairly well. The place you have to really be careful is on the top of the mountain on the Orange Trail. The ground is frozen because the sun does not hit that mountain. When I was working up there building that trail, the sun would hit that area for like 5 minutes a day. And so the ground freezes deep, and then when the sun hits it, now it's starting to hit a little bit more, it will thaw out the top quarter inch, half inch, and that is very slippery. So use your hiking sticks, keep them planted in front of you. And there are a few trees down up there that are all passable on the trails. I haven't gotten up there to cut them up, but we'll get them cleared, but they are very passable right now without any difficulty. The hike, Eldon has a hike, and I'll let Eldon talk about it.
Yeah, Linda and I are in charge of the February hike, which is a week from Wednesday, Wednesday the 18th. And it's going to be in Dawson Forest Wildlife Management Area, which is less than a half hour from here. We're going to meet at the admin parking lot about 9 o'clock, leave about 9:15. It's a 5-mile loop trail in 3 sections. I hiked it yesterday. Trail's in good shape. The couple of streams that we have to cross are real low, no problem, quote unquote. I'd consider it an easy hike. Just a couple of spots that I'd consider moderate. But anyway, it's about a 5-mile loop trail. Takes about 2.5 hours. After that, we're going to go to Dawsonville and eat at a high-class joint called the Pool Hall. Pool room in Dawsonville. Serve good hamburgers and other stuff you can get to. So anyway, that's a week from Wednesday. Meet at the admin parking lot around 9 o'clock, and we'll have a good hike.
Thank you, Eldon. Good. Appreciate it. And Mason, thanks for all the work you're doing out there. Just a quick one on volunteers. Obviously, we've got special events that happen during the year and we need help with, and give Andy some help, obviously, with KBTB and with the holiday and hanging baskets and fundraising, and of course, Tamarack Treasures. And also a big thanks to Megan for keeping all our newcomers out of there. Again, as you know, all these volunteers and all the hours that we put in are all tracked so that we can report that to Ben Tree, and they get some nice tax advantages for that. So thanks for all your work, Megan. Treasurer's report. Not a lot, which is good. Beginning balance of the year, $23,287. Obviously, only 120 in revenue, 117, so we got 23,287 in the bank. I want to move real quick to our 2026 budget that we passed at the executive meeting. Our beginning balance is 23,787. Our revenue is projected only at 8140. I'll explain that. And then expense of 16.8. Balance of 14 at the end of the year. We did not project, because of the changeover in leadership at Tamarack Treasures, of any Tamarack Treasure revenue here. We went bare bones right to the bottom and said, if we don't have either, then what are we going to do? How much money do we really have to maintain a good balance in the bank? We think we're going to get one good big Tamarack Treasures in the fall, August, September, which will change those numbers a lot. But in the meantime, we're going to watch our expense every month and make sure that we stay there and keep our balance in the bank and stay profitable. So that's how we're looking at the coming year. And it probably will turn better, but let's just keep it close and conservative. That's our plan. Upcoming events, March will be bear management that we're planning. In April, some migratory birds perhaps. So may move that around. And then an idea for some committee special news report that each of the committees can give our audience more of an idea of what we're doing, where we do it, how we do it, and the volunteers that help us. If you can help us, there's our email address, and donations are welcome. Let's move on to the Bluebird Trail.
Right.
Dara, would you like to open
yeah,
this
I'm
up
gonna,
and I'll get your presentation?
Can y'all hear me? Okay. We're gonna tag team this, myself and Sally and Jenny. So